Beamy Luke, 29, night supervisor at big business hotel wedged between airport and highway. Hotel is all beige carpets, fake plants, and lobby piano that plays itself after 10. Job is simple: check people in, deal with drunks, call maintenance when something leaks that shouldn't. Old HR manager was dude named Carl, more into golf than policy. Mostly appeared to hand out tax forms and complain about coffee. If someone got mad, we comped breakfast and moved on. Nothing ideological, just hospitality and tired smiles. One spring, Carl retires to spend more time on the course. We sign card, eat sheet cake, go back to resetting key cards. 2 weeks later, email hits all staff, subject welcoming Morgan, our new director of guest dignity and safety. Title sounds like it was brainstormed in a feeling circle. Open attachment, see woman, early 30s, sharp bob haircut, big glasses, blazer over t-shirt that says, "My existence is not your access." Bio talks about making travel safe for women and challenging male entitlement in hospitality spaces. Front desk guy Jamal reads over my shoulder, mutters, "Bet she's going to outlaw eye contact," goes back to printing folios. First night Morgan visits property, she walks lobby like she's scanning for crimes only she can see. Doesn't look at fire, panel, or emergency exits, just tracks how male staff stand when women check in, how long we hold IDs, where eyes go. She watches me hand key card to solo female guest. I say standard spiel about breakfast hours and elevators. After guest walks off, she pulls me aside, asks, "Do you think she felt safe having her room number said out loud near men?" I tell her we never actually say room number, just point at card and circle it. Basic safety thing we already do. She nods like she invented it. Write something on tablet anyway. Week later, we have mandatory meeting in tiny conference room that smells like coffee and toner. Morgan stands at front with slideshow titled Phase 1 Ending Unwanted Access. She explains that hotels are traditionally structured around men having keys to women's doors. Says women alone in rooms deal with housekeeping, barging in, maintenance guys knocking, male staff calling their phones. New rule: no unsolicited contact with solo female guests after check-in. No calls to room unless guest requested. No surprise knocks, no just checking everything's okay visits, even if there was noise complaint. If there is concern, we must first text through app and wait for reply. She calls it digital consent before physical approach. Night housekeeper Anna quietly asks, "What if guest's toilet is overflowing and phone is off?" Morgan says, "We have lived with male intrusion for decades. Women can live with a little water." Everyone laughs nervously. Unsure if joke, she does not smile. Turns next slide. For first few weeks, phase 1 is annoying but survivable. We let phones ring, send app messages nobody reads, listen to banging inside rooms and hope it's consensual. One night neighbor complains about screaming next door. I message room twice. No answer. Morgan on call tells me no entry without explicit permission unless there is fire or visible blood. 15 minutes later, couple emerges, red-faced but clearly fine. Guy gives me thumbs up, says, "Sorry man, enthusiasm." Morgan calls that success story of boundaries. Summer conference season hits, hotel full of consultants and sales teams, lot of solo travelers, lot of late night lobby traffic. Morgan drops phase 2 in another long email, subject privacy floors and gendered safety. She announces 3 top floors will become priority privacy zones for women travelers. Solo women can request those floors, housekeeping scheduled only when they're out, and male staff access will be minimized. In meeting, she expands minimized into full rule. No male staff may enter a room on those floors if guest is inside and identifies as woman. Not for maintenance, not for room service, not for wellness checks, nothing. She calls it no uninvited male presence policy. I ask, what about emergencies like water leak flowing under door or burning smell? Morgan says if it's life or death, of course, but men tend to call everything urgent when they want access. Adds that any male entry, even during emergency, must be witnessed and signed off by female staff where possible. Problem night shift is mostly me, Jamal, two older security guards, and one houseman named Art who fixes everything with duct tape. Female staff at night are one housekeeper and sometimes bartender if bar is still open. Morgan waves concern away, says, "We will evolve scheduling," which is HR for not my problem. Privacy floors launch, marketing loves it, website banner screams, finally a hotel that puts women's safety first. We get buzz on social media, posts from travel bloggers about no creepy knocks, I slept like a baby. Behind the scenes, operations becomes Rubik's Cube. Maintenance guy can't fix air conditioning in 1708 because guests inside and female staff busy cleaning vomit in 309. Room service refuses to deliver late night soup to woman on privacy floor because male waiter and Morgan happens to be lurking. Guest ends up coming down to lobby in pajamas to pick up tray herself, glares at me like personally invented patriarchy and starvation. Morgan sends follow-up email praising women reclaiming agency over late night movement. By fall, she's ready for phase 3, the one that turns everything sideways. Email subject, no more men with master keys. She opens staff meeting with long talk about how key cards are symbol of power imbalance. Says a man with a master key can open almost any woman's door in this building. That's not safety, that's threat. Announces new policy, effective immediately. No male staff may unlock or enter a room occupied by a woman alone under any circumstances. If there is issue, we must summon female staff to lead, or contact Morgan if she's on property. Even in emergencies, men should wait in hallway and support, while woman staff or external responders handle actual entry. Security guard Paul raises hand, points out state law expects hotel staff to enter room if guest hasn't been seen for welfare. Check. Morgan counters with, law never imagined trauma-informed practice. We will educate inspectors. She introduces concept of guest dignity escalation ladder, chart that looks like someone lost a fight with PowerPoint. Bottom rung, send text. Next, call. Then female staff knock gently. Only an absolute worst case, like visible smoke or someone audibly yelling, I am dying, can male staff unlock door, and even then they must wait for female witness at threshold unless actual flames. After meeting, Paul mutters, so if somebody is quietly dying, we just stand out there, taking turns texting. I don't laugh because that's exactly what it sounds like. For a while, Rule mostly causes comedy. Drunk female guest locks herself out on privacy floor, bangs on door, key card inside. I go up with spare, see red no male access sticker on door frame, call Anna on radio. Anna is on different floor dealing with a kid who puked Skittles rainbow on hallway carpet. Drunk woman sways barefoot, slurs, just open it, dude, I'm freezing. I tell her, I'm not allowed to open if you're in hallway alone. We need female staff present. She laughs, then gets mad, then sits on floor and eventually pees in corridor out of spite. Next morning, Morgan emails about unfortunate incident, blames male staff's inflexibility for not creative problem solving within boundaries. I fantasize about creatively solving boundaries with mop handle. Then the big one hits, the one that actually matters. Late October, rainy Tuesday, hotel half full of consultants here for some leadership retreat, plus random travelers stuck by delayed flights. I'm on night shift, doing paperwork at back office, watching cameras out of corner of eye. Privacy floors quiet, most windows dark, hallways empty. Near midnight, phone rings, front desk line. It's some guy calling from another city, says his co-worker, Miss Hughes, is staying with us on floor 17. He sounds stressed, says he was on video call with her about presentation, when she suddenly grabbed chest and disappeared out of frame. Call dropped. She's not answering phone anymore. He Googled hotel number, and now here we are. I ask basics, room number, any history. He says she mentioned heart issues once, not sure, just didn't look right. Training brain says possible medical emergency, time to do welfare check. I hang up, grab master key, radio, call Anna to meet me at 17. Anna replies she's on 15 dealing with overflowing tub, water coming through ceiling on 14, needs few minutes. Morgan happens to be on site tonight doing audit of after hours culture, sitting in lobby with tablet and herbal tea. I stop by, explain situation quickly, say I'm going up to check on Hughes in 1704, might need to call ambulance. Morgan's eyes go wide, but not with the kind of urgency I want. She says, "Is she on privacy floor?" I say, "Yes, traveling alone, checked into 17, you put her there yourself." Morgan straightens, says, "Okay then, follow protocol, text and call first, no mail entry." I hold up phone, show that we already tried call once while on with coworker, no answer. Say, time matters with heart stuff. She tells me women have had their rooms violated under cover of emergency too many times. We are not going back. Orders me to have Anna knock when she's free, says she'll supervise from hallway. I grit teeth, send app message to Hughes's phone, type front desk checking on you, please reply. No typing dots, nothing. Morgan insists we give a few minutes for her to consent to contact. I want to scream that unconscious people don't reply to push notifications. Instead, I hit elevator, Morgan riding up with me, still lecturing about trauma-informed timelines like heart attacks respect those. Hallway on 17 is quiet, that weird plush hotel silence that makes your ears ring. We walk to 1704. I knock lightly despite everything, call her name. No answer. Morgan says, "Knock again, but identify yourself as staff. Women panic when unknown men bang on doors." I knock louder, say, "Ms. Hughes, it's Luke from front desk. We're just checking you're okay." Nothing. I turn to Morgan, say, "I'm unlocking the door now." She steps between me and handle, says, "Absolutely not. Anna is on her way. We agreed no mail entry without female presence." I look at camera and ceiling, red recording light watching me disobey policies or watch someone maybe die. Radio crackles, Anna wheezing says, "I'm coming, but water everywhere. I have to shut valve first or we'll lose half ceiling." Morgan tells her, "Finish handling leak. We have possible distress, but no confirmed emergency." I feel blood hammering in ears for different reason now. I call Hughes's room from hallway phone. We hear muffled ringing inside, then click as voicemail grabs it. Morgan folds arms, says, "If she had strength to hang up before, she could be in shower or bathroom. We are not charging in on naked woman." I say, "Or on woman collapsed in bathroom." She says, "You're catastrophizing to justify ignoring boundaries." Minute stretches every second tastes like guilt in advance. I finally say, "I'm calling ambulance regardless." I call 911, explain situation, mention chest pain, dropped call, no answer. Guest alone in hotel room. Dispatcher says paramedics on their way, send staff to unlock and check responsiveness. I cover microphone, tell Morgan they want us in room now. She says, "You can tell them we're waiting for female staff. We don't send strange men into women's rooms." Dispatcher hears that through my hand apparently, says very firmly, "Sir, if you have a key, you need to go in and start assessment. We're 10 minutes out." Something in my brain flips from employee to human with pulse and maybe conscience. I say, "Copy that, wedge master key into slot." Morgan grabs my wrist, squeezes, hisses, "Luke, if you open that door, you are knowingly violating written policy." I look at her, look at door, picture body on bathroom tile, losing seconds while we debate. I pull my hand free, swipe key, green light clicks, handle drops. Room inside is dim, TV still on pause screen, laptop open on desk with video call frozen mid-frame. Miss Hughes lies on carpet between bed and wall, one hand on chest, eyes half open, breathing shallow, ugly gasps that sound like broken bike pump. No time to think about nudity or dignity. She's fully clothed anyway, blazer twisted under her. I shout her name, tap shoulder, no real response, just weak blink. Dispatcher in my ear runs through CPR if needed, but she still has pulse, just wrecked. I roll her gently into recovery position like we learned, clear space around, tell Morgan to go down and meet paramedics at an elevator. She stands in doorway frozen as if crossing threshold might burn her. Dispatcher hears silence, asks, "Is someone going to let us in when we arrive?" I bark, "Morgan, go now." Louder than meant, she flinches, finally turns and trots down hall in offended hurry. Those 8 or 9 minutes waiting feel like standing in thick gravity. Hughes's breathing is shallow, but there, I keep talking, telling her she's at hotel, help is coming, voice shaking more than hers. Paramedics burst in eventually, ask quick questions, slap on monitor, start oxygen, things I'm glad exist. One of them asks how long she's been like this. I say, "No idea. Coworker called maybe 20 minutes ago. We've been arguing about entry." He gives me look, not unkind, but sharp, like arguing about what exactly. Later, they wheel her out on stretcher, face a bit less gray, oxygen mask fogging lightly, not a corpse, but not great. Lobby watches silently as she disappears into rainy night with sirens. Morgan avoids my eyes, vanishes into back office with phone pressed to ear. Next day we hear Hughes had cardiac event, but they got to her in time, condition serious but stable. I feel tiny bit of relief under mountain of what if. 2 days later, corporate sends safety and legal people to property. They set up shop in meeting room, pull camera footage, phone logs, policy documents Morgan wrote with such pride. I get called in for interview with guy from legal and woman from corporate safety. They ask me to walk through timeline minute by minute. I tell truth, including part where Morgan blocked me from opening door, including dispatcher telling us to go in. Safety woman asks, "How long from co-worker call to you unlocking door?" I say, maybe 15, 20 minutes, felt like longer. Legal guy writes something, jaw clenched. They bring in Anna, ask what she heard on radio. Anna, exhausted but honest, says Morgan told her to finish leak, distress not confirmed. They talk to paramedics too, who apparently mentioned delay in their report. End of week, all staff summoned to all hands in breakfast area after hours. Coffee urns pushed aside, projector pointed at blank wall, everyone from front desk to kitchen in wrinkled uniforms. Regional manager stands up front with tight smile that never reaches eyes, beside corporate safety woman and HR from head office. Morgan sits off to side, arms folded, lips thin line. Regional manager thanks us for work, then says, "We had a serious incident this week. We got lucky with outcome." Safety woman explains that in medical events, minutes matter, especially with heart. Puts up timeline slide, colored bars showing when co-worker called, when we called room, when we went upstairs, when door finally opened, when ambulance arrived. Gap before door unlocks looks like canyon. She says, "There is nothing feminist or trauma-informed about letting someone lie alone on the floor while adults with keys argue in hallway." Room quiet enough to hear ice machine humming in distance. Corporate HR rep pulls up copy of Morgan's no men with master keys policy on next slide. Some of us reading it for first time above email skim level, suddenly seeing how bad it looks blown up big. Legal guy joins by video, face like carved granite, says insurers are extremely concerned. Says phrase gender-based restriction on emergency response and voice doctors probably use to say stage 4. Then he says, "To be clear, if Ms. Hughes had died while trained staff stood outside her door because of this policy, we would likely be facing wrongful death litigation." Morgan finally stands, voice trembling but still trying to sound righteous. She says, "So we are just going back to men having complete access to women's rooms, their bodies, their fear." Safety woman cuts her off, gently but firmly, says, "No, we're going back to fire codes and common sense." Announces immediate suspension of privacy floor male entry ban. New rule is old rule. If there is reasonable belief of emergency, staff with keys enter, regardless of gender. When in doubt, you save the person, then apologize for seeing messy hair later. Regional manager adds that from now on, any safety policy must be approved by corporate safety and legal before rollout, not just by one department. Then the sentence that changes everything drops calmly. As of today, Morgan is no longer employed by our company. Few audible inhales around room, some shock, some not. Morgan's face goes from pale to mottled. She starts to say something about backlash and men feeling threatened. Regional manager doesn't raise voice, just says, "This isn't about your feelings. It's about almost losing a guest because you were more afraid of a man with a key than a woman on the floor." She closes laptop slowly, stands, walks out without looking at any of us, doctor whispering shut behind her. After meeting, corporate safety woman pulls me aside near coffee station. She thanks me for unlocking door despite pressure not to. Says next time, don't wait that long, policy or no policy. Couple weeks later, signs about privacy floors quietly come down. We still offer women option to have female housekeeper if we can. We still don't say room numbers out loud. Basic safety stays. But no more stickers telling my key it's a potential assault weapon. One night, Hughes herself comes back through lobby, a few months later looking healthier but carrying small pharmacy in her purse now. She checks in, sees me, says, "You're the one who came in, right?" I nod, suddenly awkward. She squeezes my hand, says, "Next time, don't listen to anyone who tells you to wait." I think about that hallway, Morgan's hand on my wrist, green light on lock staring at me. Later, during quiet hour, I walk that 17th floor again. Carpet, same ugly pattern, but door frames no longer have little red stickers telling me my job conflicts with my chromosomes. If I listen hard, I can still hear whisper of that night between elevator dings. Funny thing, hotel feels safer now. Not because we built special zones, but because we went back to stupid, simple rule. If someone might be dying and you can help, you help, then apologize if they were just asleep, not the other way around. Turns out, best guest dignity policy is getting them out of the room alive. Everything else is just marketing copy.